Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching Viewpoint with me, Anusha Soni. The National Investigation Agency has filed a charge sheet in the murder of Umesh Kolhe, a pharmacist from Amravati who was stabbed to death by two assailants on June 21, 2022. He was killed because he supported the former BJP leader Nupur Sharma after her controversial statement on Prophet Muhammad. The accused booked by the NIA have links to Tablighi Jamaat, a radical Islamist organization that has been infamously dominating headlines for various reasons. The murder of Umesh Kohle or the beheading of Kanhaiya Kumar point to the increasing threat of radicalization in this country. In the case of Umesh Kohle, there are direct links of the accused with Tablighi Jamaat. Talking about this organization that was started in India, has influenced the South Asian countries, across, including Pakistan, Indonesia and Malaysia. It was started in India back in the 1920s, has been banned by various nations, including Saudi Arabia. The German and the French intelligence agencies have referred Tablighis as anti-chamber of fundamentalism. Now, despite increasing evidence of Tablighis' suspicious activities, the organization continues to be thriving in India. Is it time for a straight talk? Is it not time for countries like India to recognize the internal threat, cut the clutter, and address the issue head-on? An issue that has a direct bearing on India's internal security. Our top focus this hour.
एनआईए ने जिस तरीके से इतना सीरियसली लेके इस सब चीज़ों को काम किया है तो हम काफ़ी सेटिस्फाइड है एनआईए से, क्योंकि 11 लोगों के ऑलरेडी चार्जशीट दाखिल हो चुके हैं और कई लोगों की जांच अभी भी चल रही है।
एनआईए ने अगर जांच की है तो उसके ऊपर कमेंट करना ठीक नहीं होगा। मुझे लगता है वो पुलिस की जांच है, हमारी सरकार ने जांच करने के लिए उनके पास दिया होगा, तो जो कुछ भी आएगा आखिर तो अब अपने लिए सबके लिए कोर्ट है, सही है गलत है कोर्ट बताएगी।
Let's begin by telling you more about NIA's explosive charge sheet. It's important because it directly factually establishes the links of the accused and Tablighi Jamaat. Revelation number 1. Many accused conducted a recce to kill Umesh Kolhe. It was not an act or a crime that was done in rage. It was a pre-planned murder. Well-conspired conspiracy to commit an act of terror. In fact, the manner in which the youth which are involved in this crime have been radicalized, the manner in which they have links, points out to a larger conspiracy and has links to terror. Main accused gave threat and different calls to other people as well. The charge sheet notes down different people who had got a threat perception and a call from this organization. Main accused is a member of the terrorist gang, committed a terrorist act. We are quoting from the charge sheet of the National Investigation Agency. The accused were influenced by Gustakh-e-Nabi ki ek hi saza sartan se juda. This is a chant, this is a slogan that we have heard in the extremist world, that if there is any kind of comment which is against the religion, then behead the person. That's what the charge sheet also talks about. There was a criminal conspiracy by religiously radicalized Muslim youth. If you look at various accused, some of them are 23 years old, 24 years old, and these are the people who have committed this conspiracy and crime. Radicalized Islamists of Tablighi Jamaat committed murder. There is clear evidence of literature, of the kind of things that they were exposed to. As I said, not a crime of rage, but radicalization and conspiracy are the two key words here. Radicalized youth wanted to strike terror in minds of people. Clearly, these kind of crimes are committed to send in a big message. Let's tell you a bit more about Tablighi Jamaat. Is it mere ostracization of a particular organization or an overblown campaign run by certain groups? There is ample evidence globally to say that this is an organization that should be banned. It has been banned by none other than Saudi Arabia. It has been labeled as a danger to society, as a gateway to terrorism. In Kazakhstan, it has been designated as extremist outfit. The designs of Tablighi Jamaat has been said to be very notorious and suspicious. In Russia as well, there has been a crackdown on extremist religious movement. The fact that Tablighis are apolitical, at least in theory they claim so, makes it a breeding ground of terror. Many scholarly articles have claimed so. Flagged off for extremist views in Uzbekistan, once again a country that has banned this organization. Turkmenistan cracked down on extremist views. Tajikistan, they called it an extremist outfit. The most important one, Saudi Arabia, you had the minister concerned there making a statement and calling it a gateway to terror. Now, a lot of them are Muslim countries, not to forget that Saudi Arabia has banned it. The key question is, should India address the issue of radicalization head on? Tabligis and most members of Tablighi Jamaat come from South Asian nations. It is from here, from different South Asian nations, including India, that they take this message to the rest of the world. I open this question to our guests as well who are joining us on the broadcast, Mr. Sanjay Gupta, who's a Shiv Sena leader, Maulana Masoodul Hasan Kazmi, who's a Muslim scholar, Binay Singh, who's an author, is also joining us on the broadcast, Dr. S.P. Mukherjee from the S.P. Mukherjee Research Foundation, and Dr. Vikram Singh, who's the former DGP of UP, is also joining us on the broadcast. I want to come to you first, Mr. Binay Singh, and I want to understand from you, while there is ample evidence to suggest that the activities of Tablighi Jamaat, and the case in point is the murder of Umesh Kohle, which was a well-designed conspiracy. There's ample evidence. The NIA has filed a charge sheet. It is no more hearsay. Do you think India should address this issue more directly? Why haven't we thought about a ban so far?
Look, if you talk about India, without doubt, we can say that India is export house of the ideology of Islamic terror. I repeat it, India is the export house of the ideology of Islamic terror. Whether they are Wahhabis, Salafis, Tabligis, all the ideas, the schools, they have been in India, they have developed in India and exported the terrorist ideology across the world. You take the example of Tablighi Jamaat, they are active in more than 160 countries, and you name the terrorist incidents across the world. Thousands of footprints they are having. Either it was Boston bombing, 26/11, Tablighi Jamaat was involved into it. And not just Tablighi Jamaat, Tawheed Jamaat, PFI, Simi, Jamaat-e-Islami Hind, all are same. All are same with different names, with the same kind of manifestations. And yes, they are targeting youths because Muslim youths, they are vulnerable. So they are targeting youths. And they are not serving the Islam because those youths, those who are involved in terror activities, they would have served Islam in a better way. They would serve this country in a better way. They would have served their family in a better way. They are spoiling the young minds. They are polluting the young minds, and they are spoiling the Muslim youths. And it's high time to shut down these schools, those who are operating in India and exporting ideology, terror ideology across the world. And you take about Saudi Arabia. Here in India, we'll talk about, we are targeting Muslims, the government is targeting Muslims. Saudi Arabia is a Muslim country. Kazakhstan is a 98% Muslim population is there. But they have banned Tablighi Jamaat. They have the guts to stand against Islamic terrorism. But when it comes to India, politics start. And I always maintain the line, I am saying once again, that when we talk about national security, this is a matter of national security.
Exactly.
If
that's the point I was, that's the point I was coming to. That radicalization should be considered and viewed from the prism of internal security and national security. There is ample evidence to suggest that there should not be any kind of political slugfest on matters like these. And if the agencies have proof, they should go ahead and ban the organization, whichever religion they may belong to. I want to cut across to our other panelist as well. Maulana Masoodul Hasan Kazmi is also joining us on the broadcast. Maulana Saab, this is a research paper by a Brussels-based think tank, and I'm quoting the French and the German intelligence sources and what has been reported so far in academia. Tablighi Jamaat has been called an anti-chamber of fundamentalism. French agencies have flagged it. The German agencies have called this an Islamist extremism and Islamist terror organization. Why is it that here in India, we have not been able to crack down upon Tablighi Jamaat? Is there any kind of support that this organization enjoys from within the community?
Anusha ji, first of all, the national security and safety of the country is paramount and must be paramount for every true Indian citizen. Let the NIA do its work and law should take its own course. People who are singing the Sartan Sajuda, they are doing a disservice to the Muslims. But around only because of one person belonging to Jamaat Tablighi Jamaat. I am so it will not be justice to blame entire Jamaat. Tablighi Jamaat, so far in our country, not a single case of terror has been registered against this Jamaat. And the Tablighi Jamaat head and all the leaders of Tablighi Jamaat, they are not involved even in the political statement. They are not even involved in the current affairs. They only talk, वो सिर्फ ये बात करते हैं कि जब हम मर जाएंगे तो कब्र में हमारे साथ क्या होगा, हमने बुरे काम किए।
मौलाना साहब इतना सिंपल नहीं है जितना आप बोल रहे हैं। मौलाना साहब इतना सिंपल नहीं है, आप ठीक बोल रहे हैं कि थ्योरी, सर एक बात थ्योरी के बेसिस पे तबलीगी जमात जरूर बोलती है कि वो ए पॉलिटिकल है, मगर यही चीज दिस वेरी फैक्ट दैट इट्स ए पॉलिटिकल, इट हैज बीन कॉल्ड simply a mosque and fertile ground for breeding terrorism. These are global research papers which have called out this particular organization, sir. And it is not a one-off case. The case of Umesh Kohle is an example where there are direct links which are emerging.
Let me rebut you.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Let me rebut you. In Ajmer Bilast case, 2 functionaries of RSS have been convicted for terror. Terror means terrorist, the conviction means terror has been established by the court of the law and the land. I am asking you, will you blame entire RSS for terror?
Can I answer that?
Of course not.
Can I answer that?
Of course
can
not.
I answer that? Maulana Sahab, can I answer that? Maulana ji, can I answer that? Maulana ji, can I answer that? Maulana ji, there is a false equivalence in political discourse and social discourse in this country that these are members of RSS and they have been named in a certain case. Will you ban the entire organization? Well, if RSS as an organization is involved in global terror, if there are French and German agencies which have named this particular organization, if Saudi Arabia as a nation has banned it, and there is a global increasing global consensus about a particular organization, then I would say ban it. Till that time, you cannot compare apple and oranges.
No, so listen me.
I'm listening to you, sir.
If Tablighi Jamaat in India has been found in any illegal activities, I am with you to ban this Jamaat. But so far, there is no case against this Jamaat of illegal activities in our country. And look, in 2018, when a Jalsa of Tablighi Jamaat in Bulandshahr was held, the head of the Tablighi Jamaat made prayer, made dua for the administration of the Uttar Pradesh, also for the government of the central government.
On one hand, sir, I want to go to the other guest as well. But Maulana Saab, it's a little circular. On one hand, you talk about hard evidence that should be presented in the public domain if you want to ban the entire organization. On the other hand, when it comes to the defense of the organization, you say, look, they have prayed for something, so they are innocent people. I don't think that really works. We're talking about internal security of the country right now.
No.
I want to go to the other guest as well. Sanjay Gupta ji, मैं आपके पास आ रही हूँ.
On the basis of proof, we should act.
I agree on the basis of proof. I'll bring in Mr. Vikram Singh as well into the discussion. But Sanjay Gupta जी, मैं सबसे पहले आपके पास आना चाहूंगी. NIA ने एक चार्जशीट दायर कर दी है और इस चार्जशीट में साफ-साफ है कि ये एक तरीके की कंस्पिरेसी थी. These were the youth that were radicalized by a certain ideology and that is why they acted. This was a well-planned murder that was carried out. There were clashes also that broke out in different parts of Maharashtra. What do you think should be the right action after this NIA charge-sheet? संजय जी, अगर आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है
कि इस तरह की घटना हम मुझे तो आ रही है, मेरे को आपको आ रही है मेरी
जी बोलिए.
मैं इसमें यही कहना चाहूंगा कि इस तरह की कोई भी घटना जो कोई भी संगठन हमारे देश के अंदर करता है या कोई इस तरह का बयान देता है जो किसी कम्युनिटी के खिलाफ है, किसी धर्म के खिलाफ है, ऐसे संगठनों पर प्रतिबंध लगना चाहिए. चाहे वो इस्लामी जमात हो, चाहे वो मिस्टर ओवैसी की पार्टी हो जो ये कहती है कि 15 मिनट के लिए पुलिस हटा दीजिए, हम 15 मिनट के अंदर हिंदुओं को दिखा देंगे, उसके बाद भी वो अपने पद पर बने रहते हैं. आज भी हमारे देश के अंदर MP हैं, क्यों नहीं उनकी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का रजिस्ट्रेशन कैंसिल हुआ अभी तक? क्यों नहीं उनकी सदस्यता, संसद सदस्यता अभी तक रद्द की गई? लोकसभा में इस तरह के बिल भी पारित होने चाहिए कि अगर कोई भी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी, अगर उसका पॉलिटिकल लीडर, जिस तरह से बीजेपी ने नुपुर शर्मा को उनके पद से हटाया सभी पदों से हटा दिया। ठीक इसी तरह से लोकसभा में भी ये पारित होना चाहिए कि इस तरह के पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स ना तो उनकी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी रजिस्टर्ड रहेगी, ना ही वो अपने पद पर बने रहेंगे। उनकी संसद सदस्यता अभी तक खत्म हो जानी चाहिए थी। कश्मीर के अंदर लाखों कश्मीरी पंडित कश्मीर से बेदखल कर दिए गए, लेकिन जो लीडरांस उसके जिम्मेदार थे साइलेंटली बैठे रहे। आज भी वो अपने पदों पर बने हुए हैं, आज भी वो पॉलिटिकल पार्टियां बना रहे हैं, आज भी वो गठबंधन बनाकर सरकार बनाने की कोशिशें करते रहते हैं। जो पहले जैसे थे वैसे ही वो आज लीडर हैं। मुझे लगता है कि ऐसे लीडरांस पर सख्त से सख्त प्रतिबंध लगने चाहिए और उनकी पॉलिटिकल पार्टियों पर बैन लगना चाहिए और उन्हें इस देश से देश निकाला देना चाहिए।
संजय जी, एक बात की गई है, मौलाना साहब ने एक आर्गुमेंट रेज किया, एंड इन ऑल फेयरनेस आई वांट टू रेज दैट आर्गुमेंट दैट जस्ट बिकॉज फ्यू मेंबर्स ऑफ अ सर्टेन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, किसी भी संस्था के अगर कुछ लोग हैं जो आपराधिक गतिविधियों में या क्राइम में संलिप्त पाए गए हैं, इसका मतलब ये नहीं होता कि आप इस पूरे संस्था को ही बैन कर दें। उनका कहना है कि बहुत सारी राइट विंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है या सो कॉल्ड हिंदू ग्रुप्स हैं जो पहले भी एक्टिविटीज में इन्वॉल्व हैं, इसका मतलब ये थोड़ी है कि हम आरएसएस को बैन कर देंगे। इस तरह के तर्क का, इस तरह के आर्ग्यूमेंट को आप किस तरह से देखते हैं?
देखिए, अगर इस तरह तो फिर जो भी किसी भी संगठन के जो चीफ है वो तो फिर इस तरह से तो नीचे वाले कोई भी काम करते रहेंगे। अगर किसी पार्टी का चीफ ही इस तरह का बयान दे रहा है, उसके बाद भी वो उस पॉलिटिकल पार्टी में बना हुआ है, ये मैं मान सकता हूं कि अगर मान लीजिए किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी ने या किसी संगठन के किसी कार्यकर्ता ने या किसी ने कुछ किया, बात समझ में आती है। लेकिन अगर एक पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का चीफ ही इस बात को कहता है हमारे देश के अंदर खुले मंच पर कि 15 मिनट के लिए आप पुलिस हटा दीजिए, हम 100 करोड़ हिंदुओं को देख लेंगे, उसके बावजूद भी उस देश के अंदर संसद
आपका ध्यान में तबलीगी जमात पर वापस लाना चाहूंगी और महाराष्ट्र की बात करूंगी। खासकर तबलीगी जमात की महाराष्ट्र में किस तरह की गतिविधियां रही हैं, और आप एक जिम्मेदार राजनीतिक दल है, तबलीगी जमात पर आपकी क्या राय है?
तबलीगी जमात पर बैन लग जाना चाहिए। कई देशों ने इस पर बैन लगाया है, ऐसे कई देश हैं जिन्होंने इस पर बैन लगा दिया। जब दूसरे देशों ने इसके ऊपर बैन लगा रखा है तो हमारे देश के अंदर किस तरह से चल रहा है ये? इस तरह से अगर जब जिसके लोग इस तरह के कार्य में संलिप्त पाए जाते हैं तो इसका मतलब ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि इसकी पॉलिटिकल इनके चीफ या इनके लीडर्स या इनके नेता इस चीज के अंदर शामिल ना हो। ऐसा हो नहीं सकता। बिना उनकी संरक्षण के ऐसे घटनाओं को अंजाम नहीं दिया जा सकता। इसलिए जिस तरह से दूसरे देशों के अंदर इस पर बैन है, हमारे देश के अंदर भी इस पर बैन होना चाहिए।
जी, डॉक्टर विक्रम सिंह, आई एम कमिंग टू यू एंड आई वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस फ्रॉम द पॉइंट ऑफ प्रोसीजर, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव प्रोसीजर. What kind of evidence is needed to ban any organization in this country? There are various ways and methods by which the Union Home Ministry can take in a call. But when it comes to the activities of Tablighi Jamaat, the fact that it's banned in Saudi Arabia, it's banned in different Muslim nations across the world. There are different nations in the West which have flagged the activities of this organization. Why has India shied away from it so far? Dr. Singh.
Obviously, Anusha, listen very carefully to what Mr. Vinay Singh had said, and also what Maulana Sahab had said at given point of time, although there was a bit of confusion after subsequently. Let me tell you, it is for the Home Ministry and the intelligence agencies to collect very carefully all the evidence, all the criminal cases against the Tablighi Jamaat. I can tell you from experience that many militants arrested in Kashmir said that their tanzeems, Lashkar-e-Taiba and others, had said that they have a preference for those who had attended the Tablighi Jamaat to gain entry in Lashkar-e-Taiba and other terrorist organizations. It is not for the dozens of them. And most of the terrorists that have been arrested and the literature recovered from them goes to show that they had some association with the Tablighi Jamaat. If the Saudi minister in his wisdom has said that this is one of the gateways to terrorism, and also that most of the Simi, ex-Simi, and also the PFI and other cadres are ex-Tablighi Jamaats, don't you think that is the kindergarten that is producing the fodder for terrorists that are bound to come? Yes, they may have in their prayers and in their duas may have mentioned something that is secular, that is nationalistic, but that does not condone the large-scale damage that they have done to the country and to society, and also see the similarities between the discourses of Zakir Naik and Tablighi Jamaat. Maulana Sahab is very right that it is basically theological, but in the garb of theology, the venom of radicalization that is being served and impressionable youth is being radicalized. That is the danger which the nation must address. I strongly recommend Russell's paper you had mentioned, and I can give you 10 more papers which say that Tablighi Jamaat is the stepping stone to terrorism, and under these circumstances, we would be courting the recipe of disaster if we do not ban Tablighi Jamaat at the earliest.
And Dr. Singh, what really surprised me as I was researching for this piece is that the evidence has existed for a very long time. against Tablighi Jamaat, the kind of radicalization activities it has been conducting, but yet there is no action that has been taken. Mr. Binay Singh, I want to come back to you. And I want to talk to you about the kind of reactions we see whenever we talk about the issue of radicalization in this country. Countries which are run on theology, loosely called Muslim nation or Islamic nations in the West, there is a readily, there's an acceptance. Readily it's accepted that radicalization is directly linked to internal threat and security. And organizations that indulge in radicalization must be called out, they must be banned. But when we want to have this debate and discussion here in India, there is classic whataboutery, there is a sense of victimhood, and there is never a possibility to have a substantial or a constructive debate on this issue. Dr. Singh.
Is this for me, Anusha?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Obviously, that political expediency had the better of national interest. I'm very pained to say Indian citizen, political expediency and vote bank politics had the upper hand.
Yes.
And under these circumstances, Vinayji, just 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And under these circumstances, I think the party should have been banned earlier. Because you see, as Vinayji had mentioned.
Yeah. I want to bring in Vinayji also on this point. Vinayji, political interest, is that the only reasons or there are real concerns on the ground?
No. What I want to say, I agree with Vikram Singh, sir. There are 7 countries, those who have banned Tablighi Jamaat. If you leave Russia, 6 are Muslim countries, having more than 90% of the Muslim population. So at least we must give a try. The secular parties, the secular forces in India must give a try to analyze that what were the reasons for these 6 Muslim countries to ban a Muslim outfit. And look, Maulana Sahab said that Tablighi Jamaat has no terror footprints in India. Let me make clear, Maulana Sahab. Harkatul Mujahideen was very much active in India, and 6,000 members of Tablighi Jamaat, they were trained by the Harkatul Mujahideen. And even the founders of the Harkatul Mujahideen, they were members of Tablighi Jamaat. So Tablighi Jamaat has terror footprints in India. They have terror footprints across the globe. Across the globe. It was Boston bombing, 26/11, London car attacks, several others. I can name dozen of incidents, those who are directly linked with Tablighi Jamaat. And if you look at the USSR, so the members of Tablighi Jamaat, they have been trained in Pakistan and they were sent to fight against USSR. That led to the disintegration of USSR. So this outfit, they may talk secular, but it is a camouflage. It is a camouflage. Don't fall prey to that. It is just to fool you. They are basically terror outfits. They are not related to terror outfits like PFI. We earlier have seen what happened. PFI was not related to terror. They are different degrees of terror. ISIS, Harkatul Mujahideen, they are master degree of terror. Tablighi Jamaat and PFI like organization, they are graduation of terror.
And they are the ideological basis for terror organizations. As you pointed out, Harkatul Mujahideen, Boston bombing, and there is ample evidence. Maulana Sahab, अगर इतना साक्ष्य, इतना प्रमाण पब्लिक डोमेन में ऑलरेडी है, अगर सबूत हैं कि तबलीगी जमात ग्लोबली और हिंदुस्तान में भी बहुत सारे ऐसे केसेस में, एक्टिविटीज में एक्टिव पाया गया है, तो आपको लगता है तबलीगी जमात को बैन कर देना चाहिए?
देखिए, हमें फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द country is first for us. I'm using word country is first for us.
जी.
लेकिन तबलीगी जमात में in the time of, in the era of Honorable Indira Gandhi ji, at number of times searched the headquarter of Tablighi Jamaat in Delhi. They found nothing. And ये हरकतुल मुजाहिदीन को कह रहे हैं, we are mixing up 2 things. तबलीगी जमात, जमात इस्लामी and Tableeghul Islami, 3 are the different things. Saudi Arabia has banned the Tablighi Jamaat because that is not the democratic country, that is not the secular democratic country. Saudi Arabia has also banned the mandir and girja and the church is there. So because of not there the illegal activities,
what
because
of
Saudi Arabia is not allowing any organization, social organization.
तो मौलाना साहब, आपके हिसाब से नहीं, मौलाना साहब, आप बेसिकली ये कह रहे हैं कि सऊदी अरेबिया ने इसलिए बैन किया क्योंकि वो डेमोक्रेटिक नेशन नहीं है, मगर वो इस्लामिक नेशन तो है, और अगर ये इस्लाम और धर्म के लिए इतना काम कर रहे हैं, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन
कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइज, नॉट ओनली से लीव अलोन द तबलीगी जमात, नॉट एनी सिंगल नॉन गवर्नमेंटल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज अलाउड इन सऊदी अरेबिया. कोई भी जमात अलाउड नहीं है एक्सेप्ट द गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. तो उसकी बात अलग है।
तो सऊदी अरेबिया की जो सऊदी
अरेबिया
अरेबिया का जो मंत्रालय है वहां पर और जो मिनिस्टर कंसर्न्ड है वो हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए ऐसा बोलते हैं कि ये गेटवे ऑफ टेररिज्म है पब्लिक में जाकर।
नो, वो किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को इजाजत ही नहीं देते वहां पर। कोई
इजाजत ना देना और किसी को गेटवे ऑफ टेररिज्म बोलना जमीन आसमान का अंतर है मौलाना साहब। एक तरफ आप कह रहे हैं नेशन पहले आता है। नहीं मौलाना साहब मैंने आपसे एक सीधा सवाल पूछा था कि अगर एविडेंस है, सबूत है, तो क्या तबलीगी जमात को बैन कर देना चाहिए? और उमेश कोले के मर्डर में तो बहुत सारे अक्यूज है जिनके डायरेक्ट लिंक्स है तबलीगी जमात से। आपने उस सीधे प्रश्न का उत्तर नहीं दिया मुझे।
मैं बोल रहा हूँ। डोंट ट्राई टू मिसलीड द।
नो, आई एम नॉट ट्राइंग टू मिसलीड, आई एम आस्किंग यू मोस्ट रिस्पेक्टफुल
ऑल द टेरर एक्टिविटीज। और उमेश कोहली के खिलाफ जिन लोगों ने ये एक्ट किया है उन लोगों को फांसी होना चाहिए और इनको सबसे पहले फांसी होना चाहिए बिकॉज दे डिड इट ऑन द नेम ऑफ इस्लाम। बट मेरी humble request is also that if you want to take this country safe, our nation safe, my concern is that, my worry is that all other organizations who are spreading the hatred and terror and the misunderstanding against the
जिन
Muslims,
संस्थाओं ने, जिन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने इन यूथ का दिमाग खराब किया, इनको रेडिकलाइज किया, उनका भी तो नाम लेना चाहिए। संजय गुप्ता, आप कुछ कहना चाह रहे थे, प्लीज गो अहेड। संजय गुप्ता
मैं सबको कह रहा हूँ मुस्लिम के खिलाफ पहले एक्शन लीजिए,
तो इसमें यही
लेकिन
कहना
दूसरों को भी मत छोड़िए।
किसी को नहीं छोड़ा जाना चाहिए।
बेहतर है।
संजय गुप्ता जी,
मैं तो इसमें यही कहना चाहूंगा कि कोई भी ऐसा संगठन जो किसी की हत्या करवाने की मंशा रखते हो, ऐसे संगठन कोई भी हो, उन पे बैन ही हो जाना चाहिए। किसी मामले में किसी बदतमीजी पर, किसी तरह के किसी के बयान पर किसी की पिटाई करना बात हो सकती है, किसी के खिलाफ कुछ बोलना हो सकता है, किसी के ऊपर स्याही गिरने की बात हो सकती है, हम तो उसको भी सपोर्ट नहीं करते। लेकिन किसी की हत्या करने के अंदर कोई आदमी, कोई संगठन इस तरह से शामिल हो, ऐसे संगठनों पर तो बैन तुरंत हो जाना चाहिए ताकि दूसरे संगठन भी इस चीज से सबक सीखे। तो मेरे को लगता है कि जब एक संगठन का नाम आ गया
अगर सबूत है तो उनके खिलाफ एक्शन लेना चाहिए। We will be forced to take action and we will be with the
ये कह तो दिया। और इसके अलावा और क्या, मतलब कोई अपनी पांचों उंगलियों के निशान दे, मतलब और क्या सबूत चाहिए? क्या पाकिस्तान की तरह आप ये कहोगे सबूत देने के बाद गए कि और सबूत दो? एनआईए ने कह तो दिया अपनी चार्जशीट के अंदर, अगर सबूत है तो क्या होता है? अगर सबूत है, एनआईए इस बात को कह रहा है कि इनके संगठन के लोग हैं, तो फिर उसके बाद क्या रह गया? और क्या मतलब क्या चाहिए आपको?
With the sample evidence that has existed in the public domain, मौलाना साहब आपको आखिरी 30 सेकंड में जरूर दूंगी। With the sample evidence that has existed in the public domain, has there ever been an official recommendation by any state government to act against Tablighi Jamaat?
No, what I am saying that the biggest hurdle is the secularism of India, the kind of secularism we are practicing, and supporting terrorism or shielding terrorism, like what Maulana Sahab is doing, softly shielding terrorism is also a format of terror. So don't support it. You are not serving your Islam. You are not serving your religion, Maulana Sahab. You are doing a disservice to your religion.
Maulana Sahab,
your religion teaches peace.
There is a direct question being asked to you. आपसे एक सीधा सवाल पूछा जा रहा है कि टेरर एक्टिविटीज, रेडिकल एक्टिविटीज को किसी भी तरीके का आइडियोलॉजिकल जस्टिफिकेशन या कैमोफ्लाज नहीं मिलना चाहिए। क्या आपको कवर दे रहे हैं? ये सवाल पूछा जा रहा है, जवाब दीजिए।
मैं बार बार कह रहा हूं मुझ पर इल्जाम नहीं लगाया जाए। मैं कह रहा हूं मैं तो सबसे आगे हूं। अगर इस जमात के खिलाफ एम्पल एविडेंस हैं और मिल जाए सॉलिड सबूत, तो मैं कहूंगा सबसे पहले मैंने कहा PFI को
I am short of time, gentlemen. I'm sorry I'm interrupting this. This debate will continue at 9:30 PM as well. Maulana Saab, there is nobody accusing you of anything. I appreciate the fact कि आपने सारे सवालों का जवाब दिया. That's all the time I have. Mr. Sanjay Gupta, Maulana Masood Ulkazmi and Vinay Singh, Dr. Vikram Singh. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the broadcast. With that, it's a wrap from my side. We'll continue this debate at 9:30 PM as well. Greha joins you with the biggest exclusive.